You're listening to the Cricket Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cricket Podcast, where we are previewing the IPL. We're previewing Group A of the IPL, and we're previewing Kolkata Knight Riders in Group A of the IPL. Before we get into that, though, just a quick reminder that you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/thecricketpod, if you want to support the show directly. It's the best thing you can do to support us. We get a nice cut of the money you give us. We produce extra stuff for patrons that we don't produce for anyone else. We hang out with you in a Discord. We invite you to play games with us, like the IPL Fantasy League. And we have...
You're going to say Monopoly.
Well, I'll challenge any patron to a game of chess. There you go. If you win,
there we go.
We'll give you a signed love and kisses. Kolkata Knight Riders. Actually, hold on. We have a sponsor. Ross, who's the sponsor?
Serious Cricket. You should go onto their website, seriouscricket.co.uk. Use code TCP22 for all their equipment, which could be all your equipment, but for 10% off.
Yeah. You could just buy all their equipment 10% off.
And then start up your own Serious Cricket.
Yeah.
Really serious, super serious cricket.
If you
do a deal with us,
if you ignore
TCP.
all of the issues with transit and warehouse costs, you could basically make a 10% profit margin doing that.
Yeah,
this isn't a business podcast, is it?
Hold on, Max, because we want a little cut of this action. So TCP22 on your website, we'll do 9%.
Right. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, business with the Cricket Podcast. Kolkata Knight Riders. Mm-hmm. They mean business. They bought Shreyas Iyer for a lot of money. Did some business there. He's their captain. Brendan McCullum is the coach. That's the leadership unit. What do you think of the Iyer-McCullum axis of brain, Ross?
To be fair, in the last month or so, Shreyas Iyer has demonstrated that he is a pretty supreme cricketer. When it comes to T20 cricket, I'm not completely sold. Like smashing Sri Lanka around in T20 is not a great sign of your supremacy. So
what would be better though if he just got out and was like, "No, it's too easy." Would you be more impressed by that?
No, but it's like he's done what was expected. Right.
Okay.
You're going onto the field and you'll be like, do you know what? I have to hit at least 50 runs here. This season, I think.
Yeah. Now you're having a go at him for doing it. What do you want, Ross?
Yeah. How is that having a go at him?
You're having a massive go at him.
Was I? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I think as a leadership team that'll be okay. Future captain of India, and then Brendan McCullum, who obviously loves attacking cricket. So.
That's what we're led to believe.
That
is what we're led to believe.
That's why they picked up
Rahane. You wouldn't always know that. Sometimes he doesn't. He leaves clues that maybe that isn't the case. Kit review. They're the purple members of the IPL.
All right. Careful where you put the stress on that sentence.
Very much old kit meet the new kit, or new kit meet the old kit, isn't it? With KKR, it's purple with a bit of gold.
The kit is dead. Long live the kit.
Yeah, personally, I think this is just my point of view. That if you're going to go purple, you need to be more Fiorentina and less
like Ribena.
Less like Emperor of Persia, or
so you want it more lilac-y, more pink.
It's a bit Byzantine Empire.
It was a rare colour to get, right? Because of the dye was difficult. Mm-hmm. So actually, it was deemed as almost a royal colour. So that's why they've gone with it. That mixed with gold.
Yeah, I know, but it would have been really impressive if they were playing in the IPL
with a cape
in circa 1300. Like people would have been like, "Fucking hell, look at their kits." They've got a bankroll, but we're not, are we? Like any idiot can go and buy a purple thing. So, be more Fiorentina. I don't know what is more Fiorentina. I guess it's like baggy shirts, isn't it? And ponytails, Baggio.
Yeah, So you've not gone quite back to the Byzantine area, but you've gone back to Roberto Baggio playing for Fiorentina. Right, okay.
Oh, that's just right. Baggio super kicks. What a game.
Calcutta was the first Indian city to have an underground Metro Railway. So on the Railway themed cricket podcast,
Oh,
what year?
Trains galore.
What year do you think the foundation was laid for the Metro?
I reckon 1957.
No, Max.
1964.
No, both wrong.
2020.
1972. Also known as the City of Joy and the City of Palaces. There's lots of palaces in Kolkata. I believe it was the capital of the British Raj for quite a long time, which is why they built loads of probably, really gaudy fake palaces back in the day. Sort of thing we like to do. Top players. Now, I think with Kolkata Knight Riders, what they want you to do is go, oh, Andre Russell, and wow, Sunil Narine, and yeah, come dog. I just can't do that, though. I'm just not excited by this team at all. I will say that they do have some strengths. You can make a very convincing argument that they have the best spin bowlers in the IPL. As a tandem, Chakravarti and Narine. I think they're both capable of bowling really economically and taking a lot of wickets. I'm not saying they are the best, but they're definitely in the picture. For 8 overs of spin, they're definitely up there, those two. They've got the Dre Russ factor. Max, he's been on a boot camp with the Dallas Cowboys, hasn't he? Presumably.
I have.
No, Andre Russell.
What's he going to say?
I would pay to watch that. If you went on a boot camp with the Dallas Cowboys.
I wonder why he's been there. What can they be? Because I like the Dallas Cowboys are, if you don't know, are an NFL team, and
he's not gone ranching. Who was thinking he's gone out to the desert?
He's now a professional rodeo player.
He has perfected the lasso knot.
I don't really understand it. Is what I'm saying. I mean, what's he doing? Learning how to be a linebacker?
Because he's built like a linebacker, and they're just like, you know what? Actually, fitness wise, we want to go and get you to do this.
They need to make him less like a linebacker. He should have gone to
it's
the
his
Dallas.
knees that's the problem.
Yeah,
just go and do some physio for a year.
Exactly. Instead, they probably bulked him up even more.
He's going to topple over.
Anyway, if he's fit, then he's basically the god of T20 cricket. But he's old now.
30, I say 33, but he's on the downward curve.
Don't have knees. 33 years old.
Yeah, for the last 18 to 24
months. He's a
months.
spring chicken compared to CSK. Mark
Noble's 34 and he's retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah, more niche football references. That would do us.
I've actually got down here as a strength. I didn't think this would be the case. Shreyas Iyer. It's not really a strength. I've written we need to talk about him. We have a little bit because he was very good against Sri Lanka. My thing with this, Ross, is that sadly for Shreyas Iyer, only one of the Sri Lankan bowlers that were playing in that series made it into the IPL. And until Mark Wood fell over, he wasn't even going to play. So it's a different standard of cricket. Like let's be really clear here. Sri Lanka international cricket team are rubbish.
Yeah. so Jack, can we hear what their 11 is so that we can contextualize?
Okay. Yeah. I've got some weaknesses, but let's talk 11s. Venki Iyer, Ajinkya Rahane, I think probably will be the opening pair.
Okay.
Shreyas Iyer, number 3. Nitish Rana, in brackets here, bad Shreyas Iyer. Sam Billings,
left-handed Shreyas Iyer.
Sam Billings, number 5. Andre Russell probably at 6, but that he'll go up and down. I'd have thought like he has in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
Come dog, Narine. Who knows where they'll bat? Shivam Mavi, Umesh Yadav, and Varun Chakravarti. Do you want to talk about some weaknesses that you've identified there, or do you want to hear what I had to say?
Let's hear what you've had to say. Go on.
Right. So first of all, KKR are a team that are at least partly owned by Bollywood star Shah Rukh Khan.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't they go and buy the player named after?
It always annoys
him?
me. Every year, Shah Rukh Khan's not at the right franchise.
Why would you not do that? He was there for the taking. and you've not taken.
He's even
That's
named.
a
After,
weakness.
he's even named after Sherrod Khan.
That's just the strategy there. Think of the marketing.
The narrative. It's all about the narrative.
All the narrative. Other weaknesses. The seam bowling. I don't rate this at all. Umesh Yadav, Shivham Mavi, and
They
Kumdog.
haven't got any, have they?
Then none of those
Basically.
players, I would be happy bowling like there's 2 overs to go and the other team need 25. It's like they might as well need 10 with those players. It just no inspiration there.
No Tim Southey. Not going to go.
Well, they didn't
they'll
pick
probably
up.
give him a go, won't they?
But they did. This was the issue: is that they backed themselves into a corner because they forgot that they needed to have wicket keepers.
Well, I've got this as well. I've got this down. But I think the death bowling in particular there, like, it's rubbish. I think Patrick Cummins, if he just bowled in the power play and tried to be Hazelwood, could be really quite effective, and his batting would mean he'd be a pretty good player. But they can't afford to do that with him. He can really only bowl 1-2 overs in the power play because they need someone to bowl at the death, and it's just not his skill set. So there's that. And then this wicketkeeper thing. Now, like, they ended up in this bidding war, didn't they, at the auction with SRH for Puran, because they realised that they hadn't bought a good wicketkeeper and they panicked. And then they ended up with Billings. And I don't think people have said Billings is a weakness in their lineup, and I don't think that is the case.
I think Billings I think he's good. He can play spin well, and he's demonstrated in the last 18 months that he's good enough to play for one of the best T20 sides of the world, which is England.
But I do think that there are sort of repercussions from the fact that they've ended up with Billings that meant that maybe they didn't end up with some of the other players they wanted as well. And I think Brendan McCullum literally said that after the auction. He said we prioritise some players that we didn't get, but we're happy with the starting 11.
Yeah, why don't they just go for like KS Barrett? Like, him in this lineup would suit it. Well,
they got Sheldon Jackson, didn't they? I think the thing with Billings is he's not necessarily bad, but it is they're really, I think, probably in a situation where he's so much better than the likely other wicket-keeping option that they almost have to play him. And is he an A-list overseas player? He's probably somebody that should sometimes play or could sometimes play or would be a fine sort of backup. But I don't know if they set out to get Sam Billings.
Well, it comes back to Max's point, right? If you play Billings, you can't play Southey because Ryan has to play, Russell has to play, and Cumdog has to play. So that's the rigidity.
I think the Cumdog's also a bit of a problem here. In that I think they could have bought a better overseas bowler than Patrick Cummins and settled for Billings as the wicketkeeper batter. I think that would be fine. But because Cumdog comes with the rep, and he's also a little bit of a franchise player now, he sort of has to play, and then that means you have to play Billings, and everyone will be like, why are we playing Billings? But actually the problem is Cumdog.
So, Jack, in this lineup, so you talk about some of the weaknesses kind of down there on the bowling front. In terms of opening up, so you've talked before that not many of the IPL teams actually attack the power play. Here, where they've got Venki Iyer, he's demonstrated that he can go after it, but is still relatively unproven. Rahane, again, is more in the anchor category. Shreyas Iyer has been more in the anchor category historically, but has shown glimpses that he can do it. Where do you see their lineup going? Do you think it's going to be all out attack, or is this going to be something that they are aiming for 160 and then hoping to get to 180 where like a Narayan or Russell comes off at the end of the innings?
Well, there are a few things we literally do not know here. Like we do not know how they'll use Narayan, for example. Now he might end up opening the batting, and they don't play Rahane very much, and they bring someone else we haven't really considered in. They could just be like, well, whenever a wicket falls 12th over or later, we bring in Andre Russell, and that changes the dynamic quite significantly. Are they that dynamic? I'm not really sure. I think we know how Venkatesh Iyer is going to play at the top of the order, don't we? He's going to attack. That's a good thing for them. If it is Rahane, he's quite a nice stroke maker, Rahane. I don't think that's necessarily a problem. And if it's Iyer batting at 3, I don't think the problems are like hideously bad. As long as you don't then, in the 13th over, send in Nitish Rana. you have to be aware that you're going to have to pull the Andre Russell button or the Narayan button
I mean, with McCallum
early,
in
and you're going to have
charge-
to be flexible.
With McCallum in charge, I think would you back them to do the right thing? I think he's, he knows what he's doing in terms of cricket strategy. He's not one of your old dinosaurs who is going to be reluctant to change the order up. I think he would probably be encouraging that kind of thought. So hopefully we'll see them do it properly.
Yeah. I think the other weakness is obviously that they're really injury prone.
Yeah.
Venki Iyer, I think, has got like a bad back, and he's the fittest player on their team. It's Chakravarti can barely walk. Andre Russell's got no knees. It's Sunil Narayan.
It's got a chronically unstraightenable elbow.
He looks like, you've both seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Dee, when she's the aluminium, what's it called? The aluminium beast or something like that. She wears a back brace and jerks around. This is going over the heads of a lot of our Indian audience here. The aluminium monster. He looks like a man wearing a back brace. I could have just said that.
You could have just said that, yeah.
Yeah. And that's because he basically is. Like he's been reconstructed so many times. He's like a golem.
What was the?
do you
remember when you were a kid? Remember when you were a kid? You had Lego. Was it Meccano?
Yeah,
that's what he's kind of looks like he's made out of, isn't it? Like a little bit of bolts. Anyway,
why should you support them? Well, so personally, I think of all these cities in India, Kolkata might be the one I most want to visit. I quite like all the old shit.
Mm-hmm.
Palaces, that's good. It's got a good bridge. I think Venki Iyer's cool. He's one of the coolest cricketers around.
Yeah.
Not really sure why.
Has a business degree, so instantly makes him cool.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, that is probably what it is. So there's some things there. I think they're a team that have got some interesting potential as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some good things could happen there. They could be extremely frustrating, or maybe Andre Russell comes in and he just starts tackling everyone, and it's crazy. And then he's loose in the backfield. I don't know. Predictions. I think I would be surprised if they make the playoffs. No, I don't think it won't happen, but I'd be a bit surprised. I think they are the 7th or 8th best team, factoring in what the things that are likely to go wrong for them.
If everything goes right, they're a playoff team. If everything goes
right, then they've got a chance to playoffs. But
fair. Okay. I hope they release. I hope they release a cowboy hat with like a KKR cowboy hat. That's what I want to see.
That's what I want to see too. That's an idea.
We should work in marketing.
We should take a break. That's what we should do, and then we'll come back. One more team from Group A to preview.
You're listening to the Cricket Podcast.